never be able to promise you're going to do a bunch of stuff, and that's why we elect you. It should be what you are doing, what is happening. And, I mean, the whole representative process of we actually elect them, why isn't it that we have people who just who they aim at representing people, and they create bills and they push legislation for representation, and then we vote on that. Let's not vote on the people. Let's vote on propositions. Let's vote on bills only. And that way anybody can act as a representative if their bill gets voted on to be pushed forward through the Senate or, this House of Representatives and over to the Electoral College. I mean, I just think giving these individuals this act of power, these seats that they can always fill. I mean, anybody should be able to go and speak their opinion. And as long as it's valid, I mean, if somebody's babbling on about nothing, we have to respectfully tell them to stop. And that's where the whole, people created equal. I mean, everybody is a human being. Everybody has the right to live, and everybody has certain rights. But we are not really the whole point of the individual's experience. If we were all equal, what would be the point of having all of us? I mean, there would be no purpose to life. There would be no balance to the fact that you're good at math, I'm good at science, or you're good at reading and I'm good at other languages. It's like there's different parts of the brain that are more active in other people, and that's what community is. And so, I mean, we're always going to have dirty politicians. We're always going to have this concept, like, let's see, we got these, I'll pull up this as I'm talking, 2013 list of 13 top dirtiest politicians. But, I mean, we're always going to have this as long as we put people on these pedestals and actually give them positions instead of making it a community effort. Because, I mean, you should have people who write the legislation and the community who can go to them and tell them, like, this is an idea that I have. And then that person who has the schooling and experience to understand the legal system looks at them and says, that sounds like a good idea. We could add it into this bill, which is talking about the civil rights when it comes to the internet, and how the freedom of information. I mean, there's so many things that we could do in order to better our political system, especially if we included technology and it was more of a nonprofit funded, free software that everybody could get on their Android, Apple iOS, Windows, any device, even PC, and then they can actually interact with the government and be we the people of the United States. So if you're listening to this, I'm kind of challenging you to go out there and if you know anything about this kind of stuff, maybe take the initiative and build it. I mean, it's amazing. We all have hobbies, even if it means you watch TV. Maybe if you stop watching a little TV and just time on this, you'd be amazed at what you could accomplish. So let's see. Actually, it looks like the page I had is now taken down. Oh, that's fine. It's not that bad. All right, so we're moving forward here. Let's see. We're going to go into health. So if you haven't heard, Ebola is fading into the distance. So over in Liberia, In Liberia, it's actually disappearing and fading completely. So a lot of people are not too intimidated over there. They were laughing when it was still a big deal here in the news in the U.S. at how it was actually residing and it wasn't being reported. But that's okay. We know how our government is and the news and everything and how they treat us with information. But, so yeah, I mean, if you were afraid of Ebola, you don't really have to be worried about it. I'm trying to pull up this article, guys. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of an issue with my technology, it seems like. No, it looks like I pasted the wrong thing. Alright, well, we'll go here. So let's see. So another thing with Ebola, though, is that even as it fades, they're talking about they need billions in order to fully eradicate it from the lands over there, and also to help with developments for hospitals here in the United States. Here you go. This is on CNN.com in the politics section by Justin Pellegrini. CDC fights for Ebola funding. Attention. As Ebola fades from the headlines, the director of the Center of Disease Control and Prevention and other top federal health officials made their case for a multi-billion-dollar emergency fund to fight virus in a congressional hearing today. Fight the virus. CDC Director Thomas Frieden defended Barack Obama's $6.2 billion proposal to combat Ebola, pointing out that the CDC is working on borrowed dollars. Now, this is one of those things where it's always good to give money towards health situations, but again, this goes back to where is the money really going, and when you find articles like this, it's interesting that you don't have the transparency of how much that amount really is. And that's what it comes down to is most Americans don't really want to read all the little details. But again, if you have something where it was like a Facebook of government and you could just go through all the bills, then it would be really easier to understand. But $6.2 billion, I mean, that's not a little bit of money, guys. So moving on, the only way to protect us in the U.S. is to stop it at the source and to build systems both in Africa and the U.S. that will find, stop, and prevent Ebola, said Frieden, likening the spread of Ebola virus to a wildfire. See, now, again, this is you see the $6.2 billion and how radical that is, and then you hear him talking about it like it's a wildfire, as if it's this deadly, ferocious thing that's going to wipe everybody out, when the reality is we're already defeating it. It's almost gone. It's receded to the corners of where it came from. And, to make it seem like we still got to keep this fight going, it's just ridiculous. We have a great medical system, and there are flaws. I'm not a big fan of the vaccinations. I believe in inoculation, but I don't believe that you shouldn't be able to sue somebody who's pumping something into your bloodstream. That's just not cool to me. But the medical system, when it comes to bringing somebody back to life, repairing things inside of their body, and really taking you from the edge of death and bringing you back, it is real. It does do that. And I understand that. I see it. I know it. I'm still a firm believer of as natural as you can get, and I think that's the way we're supposed to be. But technology can be a blessing when used the right way. But you got to ask, what's the $6.2 billion for, and is it going to be used the right way by people who are still carrying this flag of fear, destruction, and deception? So let's see. It's going to talk about the spending here. If secured, the funding will be spent in part on increased foreign aid to halt the spread of Ebola in West Africa. Another portion of the money could build new safeguards to help American hospitals respond swiftly to the potential of future outbreaks. Currently, not all American medical centers are equipped to treat Ebola. With more funding, officials say hospital training can be expanded beyond the 4 medical centers where the patients were funneled. So, it seems like this money will be going into good programs as far as to help with this one virus. And that is a good idea, but again, we are just throwing money at a problem, and it's only one problem, when it should really be not emphasizing the aspect of Ebola, but the aspect of viruses that can become out of control and how to sustain those situations. And it's very interesting that that's not what the key point of this discussion is about. It's really about Ebola. And again, this is where, unfortunately, we live in a world where you take topics, you take names, you take phrases, ISIS, IS, Ebola, which is, I always try to not look too much at the bad ends. But a lot of these names, they ring clear, they stick to you, you carry them, and that's the game, man. It's a psychological warfare. So, because they're saying all this stuff, and it's like they even said about battling in West Africa, when the reality is Ebola is fading. So it's an amazing thing how people use fear to keep us afraid, guys. And you just got to remember that you can't give in to the fear, you can't give in to the lies, and you got to read everything with a certain air of disbelief. You know, you don't want to just look at everything like, oh, it's a lie because it comes from this, it comes from that. I think there's truth in everything. And that's really something that a lot of people have a hard time with. They want to have one truth or the other, but they don't want to actually believe that there's truth in everything. I mean, there could be truth anywhere in the Quran and the Bible and the Torah and the Vedas. And those are all religious texts if you don't know what they are. But, I mean, even in different sciences, there's aspects that are real, but then there's aspects that are being disproven. So, you know, it's all fun and games until somebody gets hurt. So we really got to keep an open mind, folks. Always pay attention. That is all I'm saying. We're going to get some commercials here, and we'll be back.
Vaccines are required for students, employees, immigrants, military members, and international travel. Do you know how to legally avoid them? This is vaccine rights attorney and Freedomizer radio host Alan Phillips. My vaccine exemption ebook can help you avoid the mistakes that have cost others their exemption rights. Get the authoritative guide to vaccine legal exemptions, an ebook available at freedomizerradio.com and vaccinerights.com.
Let freedom ring throughout the land.
My name is Dr. Eric Norman. I have studied vitamin B12 deficiency for over 35 years. I have developed the urinary MMA test to detect tissue B12 deficiency early, allowing treatment and prevention of permanent disability. B12 deficiency can cause anemia, but also neurologic problems such as spinal cord degeneration, paranoia, and dementia. B12 is found only in animal sources, so vegetarians become deficient. As people age, they may not produce enough stomach acid or intrinsic factor protein for absorption of B12 and become deficient. Up to 10% of seniors may have a normal serum B12 level, but a tissue B12 deficiency, causing a 3 times greater risk for heart attack, stroke, or Alzheimer's. For more information, visit B12.com.
You know the Constitution like the back of your hand. You've read books, listened to podcasts, attended lectures, surfed websites, and watched videos. You've made liberty your life's goal, but something seems to be missing. Stickers from LibertyStickers.com. Exercise your freedom of speech with the world's most dangerous bumper stickers. That's LibertyStickers.com. But wait, there's more. You can buy Liberty Stickers wholesale. Get them for 99 cents each when you put 100 or more in your shopping cart in any combination. Sell them or give them away. They're great for gun shows, flea markets, fairs, outreach, and more. Earn extra money, promote freedom, and spread the word. Need custom stickers, labels, or decals for your organization or business? Liberty Stickers makes them. Go to LibertyStickers.com to order or call 877-873-9626. LibertyStickers.com, the world's most dangerous stickers.
Play on, play that. Play on, play that. Yo, Dre, drop the verse. I like the way you grow it, no pesticide. I got to box it up. Yeah. I like the way you grow it, so locally. I got to box it up. I like the way you grow it, with no GMOs. I like the way you twerk it, no diggity. No doubt.
We've got squash and peas, pollinator packs for all your bees. Melons you'll wanna squeeze. Yes, please.